In the game of loans, you either win or you learn. Welcome to the game of loans, where fortunes are forged and empires are built. Your hosts, lords of lending and wholesaling, are here to guide you through the realm of real estate and wealth building. Brace yourselves, cash flow is coming. Let's say someone wants to say, fuck it, I want to get into the mortgage business, right? A regular mortgage business.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what they have to do compared to what you have to do as to get into the private money business. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it
right?
really is.
Like, especially in California, let's say, right? Let's talk about that. What's the first thing that they have to do?
Well, you'd start by getting your NMLS license.
And you have to take a course, which takes how long? Like,
oh, God. Off the top of my head, I'd be giving
it's a
you
lot.
random numbers.
No,
so,
I think it's
20 hours
yeah,
or
like 20
something.
hours, which is fucking nuts.
Yeah. So you start with your NMLS license, right? And then you have to get your broker's license. So
or become a loan officer even, right?
Right.
And to learn.
If you did that, then you hang under someone else's.
Right.
So then you're just an originator.
Yeah, you're an originator.
But if you want to go off on your own, then you got to get your broker's license.
Mm-hmm.
So, and all of these things then cost money too. So it's not just the coursework time.
Yeah.
You're paying for courses and continuing education, but then you're also paying for the privilege of taking a test.
Right.
So, and you could fail that test and the time involved and then, waiting, and then you get those licenses. Then you have to associate all those licenses.
Yep.
So originally, when I was trying to go down that road, I had 2 different NMLS licenses because I had to sponsor myself.
It's crazy.
How does that make any sense?
It's so sick. It's so crazy.
And then I had to pay NMLS to sponsor myself.
Because it's a fucking money grab.
Yeah. So you go through this whole process of like endorsements and, sponsorships and yada, 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 right? And then at the end of the day, maybe you're just brokering. Maybe through all of that, you're still not a lender. You're just able to then broker a loan under someone else's name. So you can now submit it to another lender and then
how many people are fighting for that same deal?
Exactly. And then as soon as they see that lender's name, you've gotten one, but now they're going to go direct next time. And they're cutting you out. So you've done all that work, but they've seen that lender's name, and that's the end of it.
It's done.
Yeah.
And you're only licensed in one fucking state.
Yeah. Well, and there was like a major thing, brawl, the brokers rallying against wholesale lenders, which was when you take that loan to that wholesale lender to broker it, are they then going to solicit your borrower?
Of course they are.
Right?
Yep.
After when that interest rate goes down or so many months have gone by, now they have your borrower's information. Are they calling them to try to get the refi directly?
I'll give you even something better. Now, let's say you become a lender.
Mm-hmm.
You take the loan, you sell it to PennyMac. Are you ever getting that loan back?
Yeah. Right.
Never.
Yeah.
So now you even took the fucking risk, right, as a banker to bank that loan to sell it to PennyMac.
Right. And they're still going to solicit that borrower.
And what's the thank you that PennyMac gives you? As soon as the rates drop of 1%, do you think PennyMac is calling you up and saying, hey, you know what? Maybe you should call your borrower again. No, fuck you.
They're calling them.
Hi, this is PennyMac. We own your loan. Guess what? Fuck that lender that's going to call you, that originated, that sold it to us.
Yeah.
Here you go. We're going to give you something that the lender is never going to be able to fucking match.
Yep.
And that's
but in brokering, I feel like you're in the worst position.
Worse. Now you're a fucking...
You're nothing.
You're a dog.
Yeah, they don't care about you at all.
Yeah, you're just like, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, but you've done all that work to get there.
Yeah,
you've paid all this money and all this licensing.
To help originate it.
And you still signed EPD agreements.
Yep.
You're still, even as a broker, you've still signed an agreement that says that if there's an early payment default, that you'll buy a loan back, which is insane.
Insane.
Right?
Insanity. It's completely insane.
You can go that route.
Right. You can go that route. Or you could become a private
money lender.
Right?
Yep.
Where... you're going to always, you're closing the loans. After a while, you get to close the loans in your own name.
Mm-hmm.
You control everything that happens.
Right.
They're grateful. You don't have that much competition, although people think you do, but you really don't.
No, you really don't.
You get to help people that really need fucking help.
Well,
right?
it's about relationships.
Yep.
That's the thing, I think is in the other side of lending, it's about interest rate. Mm-hmm. What's the rate? What's the rate? What's the rate? What's the rate? That's all anybody cares about. Mm-hmm. They don't care about who you are. You mean nothing. It's what's the rate? And they'll leave you for an eighth.
Yep. An eighth.
They don't care. You could be almost to funding and they'll drop you for an eighth and go pull the file and take it somewhere else.
For a fucking eighth.
Yep.
For an eighth.
In private money lending, it's about the relationship because they know that you're going to get the loan done. They trust you. Yep. They're in a some kind of time constraint almost always, right? They
Yeah.
need to get the purchase done now. They need to get construction funds now. They need the bridge funds to do rehab on an exiting whatever now.
Mm-hmm.
And they trust that you're going to get it done. You already have a file built for them because you've done 6 loans already, you know, and you're like a concierge to their financial life. You're more than just a lender.
It's true.
And so they don't care if somebody else comes to them and say, oh, I could beat that by 0.25%. They're like,
Yeah.
I've got my guy.
I got my guy.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I could
She's
close
going to
fast.
fund it.
Yeah, she's going to fund it.
She said it funds Friday, and I know it will.
I know it's going to fund. Yeah.
So there's no chance that I am pulling this to somebody that calls me, a cold call, and says like, oh, well, they're doing a 7 and a whatever, I'll do a boop boop. Like they're solid.
Yep. I agree with you.
So you're not fighting for...
You build a book of clients.
And they're solid. You're not, you know, and on that sales side of things, that can really wear a person down when you're losing business over rate that you can't control.
And who are you losing it on? Someone with a fucking, I tell people, I'm like, the motherfucker has a 580 FICO score. They don't deserve a fucking loaf of bread. And they're getting a house and they're arguing with you over a fucking eighth.
Yeah.
You'll be like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
You motherfucker. You don't deserve anything.
Yeah.
You're the one that's beating me up over a fucking eighth?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like you just don't see that on this side of things.
You don't.
So.
Listen, sometimes we lose money over leverage, and I get that, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this guy, because why? Real estate investors are always short cash.
Mm-hmm.
That's the life, right? But like you said, it's like you're gonna make that deal, you're one and done. That you're never gonna get that back on the regular side. You just won't. You're never gonna get it. Between the competition and the person you sold the loan to or you brokered the loan through, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
You're just done. You're never getting that back. On the private lending side, on the other hand, you're building a book that's recurring. And these people, they're always buying homes and they're always making investments. It's a big difference.
Yeah. Well, another thing too is when you think about like what we just discussed, that you can lose someone over the tiniest change of interest rate, which is often out of your control.
Yep.
The way that a conventional loan officer is often paid is through LPC. It's lender paid comp, right? Lender paid comp is accomplished by raising the interest rate. So you're in this position of being extremely underpaid to stay competitive. You're in a rock and a hard place all the time. So either on that side of lending, either you're charging points up front, so you're disclosing it and saying, hey, I'm charging you this money and this is what it is. And they're going dollar to the other guy and saying, she's charging me 1 point, he's charging me half a point, I'm going this way, right? And then that's it. They're going with the guy that's charging less. Or optically, you're going with lender paid comp, which is the lender is going to compensate you instead of you charging upfront points, but that's accomplished by raising the interest rate. And again, now you can lose that person over just 1/8.
I agree.
So how skinny can you get to save a deal? How little money are you willing to make either on upfront points by borrower paid comp or back end points on lender paid compensation versus, again, on the other side of things, everybody's pretty much charging the same thing. People know what they're going to be paying. They know that there's going to be upfront points involved. We're not arguing over that, right? So it is what it is. This is what it's going to cost you to accomplish this deal. This is the rate. We will get it done. Cool. Fund it. Let's go.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I think people who get into the mortgage business and they haven't evolved, right? It's just because they're just either lazy or not smart enough to be able to see the writing on the wall, right?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be the same experience. It's on the mortgage broker side, on the regular side, it's, well, I'm going to take it to UWM, which everybody else does, right? Or I'm going to take it to Rocket.
Right.
And guess what? Your borrower is going to get the same experience, right?
Yeah. You have
now
no
it's a matter
control
of,
over the experience.
Correct. Now it's a matter of, well, how am I going to earn that business? And it's a matter of, well, it's a price war now.
Yeah.
For the same experience.
Yeah. Your only hope then is that you do enough volume that you've been price incentivized by that lender to beat out your competition.
Right. And it's
which the only way you're getting that volume is that you've undercut your own pricing so much that you've gotten that much business. So then how much is your time worth?
Yep. How much is your time worth?
You've decided that your hourly is what, $10 an hour?
And again, you're one and done.
Yeah.
That's it. Where
Because they're going to solicit your borrower.
100%.
Especially Rocket.
Even if they don't solicit it, you know what? Your competition is going to solicit.
Yeah.
And they're going to cut your fucking throat.
Every time you pull the credit.
Every time.
Yeah.
Bang. Trigger leads. I'm willing to do it for $500 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Where in our business, in the private lending business, like you said, it's more relationship based, like it should be.
Yep.
And they're not cutting your throat. They can try. They can say, hey, you know, this guy told me. You're going to say, come on, man, for an eighth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Or you know he's not going to close you.
You know he's not going to close you.
Yeah.
You know it's sure as shit. When Jacalyn tells you, I'm closing on Friday, guess what's happening?
Yeah.
Closing you on fucking Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that.
Mm-hmm. I think for me, the scariest thing in moving into becoming a lender was moving out of guaranteed pay.
Right.
Letting go of the salary, because I was like fully ops, right? Like running operations, AVP of ops. Like I've been an ops girl.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
And so I think the scariest thing was to say that I know that moving into like my pay is going to be reflective of the production that I do. And it's going to be okay when I do that. Was probably the scariest thing. And it's the smartest decision that I've ever made.
It's the best thing.
By far.
Yeah.
So,
because now
that's what held me back from doing it for so long. Because it was like, I need to make sure I can pay my bills. And, you know, God forbid something happens. It's not worth the risk. What if there was just one bad month? There has not been one bad month. Not one. A bad month is still better than my regular pay, which was, you know, obviously I'd been in it for so long, at 22 years in mortgage, my salary was pretty good. You know, I'd earned it.
Deservingly so.
Yeah, I'd earned it.
But
so,
no, not just us. The thing is, nobody was going to pay you what you're really worth.
No. Yeah. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You have to take the risk on yourself.
Right. You can't
really earn what you're worth until you're willing to risk it on yourself. Right. That's how it is.
And now you're really earning what you're worth, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Because no business can afford to pay you what you're worth.
No. Yeah.
You know, and it's not in the reflection of what you're worth.
No. It's just about economics.
Economics.
Regular economics.
Yeah. You know, you could get the top end of what that pay is, but it's still not what you're worth.
Yeah. If you're an employee, there's always going to be a range. There's a top end of a range because the business has to operate.
Right. Business has to operate.
The only way to break that top end range is to take the risk on yourself.
Right. So congratulations. I think, you know, the good thing is what we're looking to do in our venture together again, which I'm so happy in Ross, is now put this course together so other people, whether they're single moms or single dads or fucking struggling, or they've been in the mortgage business for such a long time and they're like just tapped out.
Yeah.
Give them a chance to have that financial freedom to be able to do what you've really been able to do.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm so excited about that.
I am too.
You know, I'm really excited. It's like,
you know, I'm a huge nerd for this stuff.
I know. Excited. You're a massive nerd and I love it. You know, and I think like, you know, a lot of people are like, well, why would you want to get into the education business or the coaching? And I tell them, you know, I started coaching in football for the first time this year. And just the gratification I got to make a bunch of kids better.
Yeah.
Right? It was so awesome. And I can't wait to provide that to some grown-ups.
Yeah.
You know? Right?
I know. You're going to make me get emotional. It's like, I don't want to be cheesy about it, but I do kind of feel a little bit like the poster child. Like, I do not have a college degree, right? I am a single mom.
Which the funny thing is, you don't have a college degree, but meanwhile, it does not reflect how fucking brilliant of a person you are.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. No. It makes it makes no difference whatsoever. It's not in any way held me back.
Nope.
I am a single mom, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I've been working and grinding and doing this.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is like, I feel like an infomercial, but it literally has changed my life. Like there's no.
But you are the infomercial.
Yeah.
You are it.
Like, it would be amazing to know that somebody else that's thinking like, I am just doing this grind and this is what my life is going to be. I have all these things that are holding me back that are going to make it impossible for my life to ever get to this point. I'm not going to be able to give my kids, you know, paid for college. I'm not going to be able to tell them like, I'm going to buy your house when you get married. I'm not going to, my family's not that family that does those things. Like, guess what? Yeah. Maybe you are.
Yeah, maybe you are.
Maybe you are. You know, like I never would have said those things about myself. If anything, I was just very, 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 very grateful to be in a position to pay my bills.
Right. And you didn't deserve that.
So
you deserve so much more. Like, think about it. I mean, how many properties do you own right now in Hawaii?
I have 3 in Hawaii and 1 in San Diego.
That's fucking awesome. You didn't have that when you were working with us.
No, you got to take the risk.
Right? Like, that's fucking crazy. You have 3. What's your goal? I think you're going to end up with like 20.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to keep going.
You're going to keep going.
Yeah.
Because you can.
I'm going to spread into other states.
Yeah.
So.
It's so fantastic. I think like you hit on it, man. Really. It's just, you are that person, man. You are, really. It's like, you know, it's great. I love it. I love it. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted you to be a part of the course is you're the real life fucking person we're going after. You've been listening to The Game of Loans, where real estate battles are fought and won. Make sure to fortify your defenses by subscribing. Cash flow is coming, and we'll be back next time to help you claim your throne. The war of wealth continues.